This is the latest version of the Jaguar F-Type. It's called the SVR and Jag says it'll do 200 miles an hour. So I'm going to see how close to that magic number I can get. Jaguar, do your quickest. We are in VMAX mode. Power on. Hands off the paddles, car knows best. Makes hell of a good racket. It's a very long straight this. We're going quite quickly. Very quickly. Jesus Christ, this is fast. Take the adult pills today, Goy. It's so fast. That's 150. That's 160. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. 170. Come on, needle. 180. Carbon ceramic brakes. Where's some runoff? That's good. Let's use all the runoff. Well, that was a bit brisk. Whew. Right, now that's done. Meet the F-Type SVR, the fastest F-Type you can buy. The SVR is the brainchild of Jaguar Land Rover's Special Vehicle Operations, JLR's M division, if you will. SVO's cars come in 3 flavours: SVR, the fast ones, SVX, the off-road ones, and SV, Autobiography, for the plush, luxurious ones. SVL would have made more sense, but no matter. Now, SVR cars will always have a few things different compared to the cars they're based on. For example, they'll be faster, more powerful, lighter, have better aerodynamics, look a bit different, you have better driver information, and they'll be all-wheel drive, so pretty much any numpty can drive it quickly into a corner and hopefully not fall off, or at least stand a better chance. So what's SVO done with the all-wheel drive F-Type R then? Well, the wick's been cranked up to 567 brake horsepower, 575 metric, and 516 pound-foot. There are 2 versions to choose from, a coupe and a convertible. The hardtop will hit 200 miles an hour, the soft top a mere 195. Pathetic. Both hit 62 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds. Now the SVR Coupe is 25 kilos lighter than a normal, if you can call it that, all-wheel drive F-Type R. However, with a few options you can make that 50 kilos lighter. And the aero, well, you've got a redesigned front end, a flat underbody, and an all-carbon fibre, all-active wing. Its chassis has been fiddled with, as have the dampers, anti-roll bars and springs. There are lighter wheels shod with wider tyres to make it go quicker as well. To ensure it stops properly, Jag's fitted carbon ceramic brakes. Which is good, because you'll want to hammer the throttle a fair bit to hear the titanium exhaust do its thing. Now, the standard F-Type R makes one of the dirtiest noises around, but for some people that simply isn't enough. So they get this. This is one of those I'm glad it exists cars. The regular F-Type is wonderful, the R an aural slippery treat that's needlessly powerful and all the better for it. They've taken the R and just moved it on an extra level. This is peak F-Type. This is about as quick as you're probably going to get one, for now at least, and about as comfortable as well. Whatever the guys at SVO did with the ride and the suspension, well, when you're properly on it, when you're in dynamic mode and hammering around a circuit, it feels planted, it feels safe, it gives you confidence to go around a corner just that little bit quicker. But when you're in comfort mode on an horrible bumpy road, it just feels a little smoother, just that little bit more comfortable than you get in a normal F-Type, which I find very weird, because if you're going to have the top of the range mega quick one, surely you're going to have to lose something as a result. Normally it's ride comfort, but here that's not the case, it really isn't. Now the carbon ceramic brakes, oh my they work. I had to brake from 180-ish to nothing, And this did that in a surprisingly short distance. Yeah, I fell off the track a bit, but I was trying to get a few more miles per hour out of it. They are colossally good. When you first use them, they either feel a little bit over-servoed at low speed, or when you're properly hammering it, you think, oh, what's going on? But once you get to grips with them, once you learn them, man, they work. Gearbox, 8-speed auto, fantastic. Smooth, you don't even notice it when you're in your normal comfort driving around town mode. But when you slip the car into dynamic, that's when you start to feel it. You get a little bit of a nudge and it gets a little bit aggressive, and it makes it feel like a proper sporty car. If you press the traction control button just a little bit, you get into something called track DSC, which lets you feel the car move around a bit more on the road. It gives you a little bit more freedom and can make you feel something like a hero. You can turn it all off, but what I will say is that it actually takes quite a bit of effort to get the SVR even feeling remotely out of shape. The kind of speeds you need to be doing are very, very high. The centerpiece of this is the drama, the sensation, the feeling that it gives you, the drive. But you don't have to lose anything to get an immensely satisfying drive. Take a 911 GT3 RS, for example. It is one of the fastest, one of the bestest cars I've ever driven ever. It is truly fantastic. But driving it on a motorway made me want to harm myself because it was so loud and so bumpy and so uncomfortable, and the chin spoiler made you feel like you had to look out for every single bump just in case you ripped the front end off. And then you go to the other extreme, say an Aston Vanquish. It makes a lovely noise, it feels great, and it looks awesome. But there's something missing there. This is sort of an amalgam of the two. You have this really lovely ride, a fantastic noise, and uncomprehensible speed, like world-bending speed. This is a 200-mile-an-hour car. It is that fast. Each little bit adds up to make this a brilliant driving experience. My favourite bit, honestly, is the noise. That exhaust system is disgusting, and I love it. It's programmed about 3,000 to 3,500 RPM. If you rev it up then lift off, you get all the cracks and pops and bubbles that makes it sound like, you know, gunfire. Knock it down the gears, stick it into dynamic and press the noisy button. On the paddles, lovely shift, into second and then go! It's simply savage! You don't quite get that impression on the circuit, but on the road everything just turns into a blur, a really awesome blur. It's one of the best sounding V8s I've ever heard. I've had 2 days driving this and I've loved every single minute. You get the impression that the SVR is the car the F-Type was always waiting to be. More noise, more power and more everything was always going to happen somewhere down the line. But this isn't a stripped out road legal racer like a GT3 RS. No, at its core it's still very much a Jaguar. Smooth, comfortable and accessible at pretty much any speed. In short, it's fantastic.